no matter what. I'm feeling great.
Welcome back, folks, to our meditation special series on Light of Knowledge. In our previous episode, we talked about physical disorders. And today we are going to talk about mental and emotional disorders. Unfortunately, there is a large section of our society that's afflicted with these disorders. What is a mental disorder? Is it any different from an emotional disorder? Let's talk about this and many more questions that will be answered by our Sister Donika. Welcome to the show, Sister Donika.
Thank you. Om Shanti.
Sister, we talked about physical disorders earlier, and the thought came to my mind that the discussion was not complete without talking about mental disorders. So let's first talk about depression. Depression is something which hits a lot of people at some point or the other in their life. You know, people go through ups and downs, and some are able to cope with them in a better way than the others. So can you please tell us a little bit about depression, what causes depression, and how meditation can help us?
That's a very good question, sister. Today we are seeing that number of challenges are there in our life, and due to those challenges, somewhere we are pressurized by it. Taking a simple example of pressure cooker, the pressure cooker, as soon as we see that the gas is filled up in it, it gives the signal, and the signal is by the whistle, blow of the whistle. In the same way, we are filling ourselves with so much of internal pressure that somewhere it has to blow out or the signal has to come out.
Oh, so because there's a common saying, you know, let your steam out. Like if you build in a lot of pressure, then sometimes you'll hear your friends say, you know, just let your steam out, meaning just, you know, let it all go.
Stress is nothing but pressure upon internal resistance.
Okay, let me just get that straight. Stress equals
pressure upon internal resistance.
Internal resistance.
Or you can say in easy words, internal strength.
Okay.
So today what we are seeing that the pressure from the outside, it is increasing day by day. And we can't stop that pressure, we can't stop the challenges that are coming to us. They are conditionless. We have to accept it, we can't stop those.
Not only can we not stop them, but they're increasing day by day.
Yeah, the pressure is directly proportional to stress. What is indirectly proportional or inversely proportional is the internal strength.
Okay.
So the outer surroundings, the outer challenges, they will be coming to me more and more, but what I can change is the internal strength.
Okay.
If I increase my internal strength, the depression or the stress, it will decrease.
Okay.
So meditation has a very good role over here, because here we learn to increase the internal strength.
Okay.
Today, why are we seeing that the number of depression patients, number of psychologically disturbed patients, as well as the burnout syndrome, which the depression, firstly the patient comes into anxiety, he's very anxious, slowly and gradually he lends into depression, where he is like he doesn't want to talk to anybody, he's so much stressed up, he wants to be alone, he wants himself to keep isolated from other people, and this in the chronic phase even leads to burnout syndrome.
Can you explain a little bit more about burnout? Because I understood what you're talking about in terms of the steps that lead to burnout, and isolation is one of them. So what exactly is burnout?
Putting it in simple words, once the energy we are having initially, now we are not able to utilize those energy issues, or now we are facing ourselves to be at lower aspects. Now we are so much feeling depressed that we don't want to do anything.
Okay.
And finally we'll end up, let us leave everything, we don't want to do anything.
Right, that has been a common statement. You know, I'm totally burned out from this job, like in the US especially. You hear, you know, my coworkers, we just out of fun, we would say, like, I'm so totally burnt out from this job that I just can't take it anymore.
And today it's not only the job doers who are facing this problem. We are seeing that majority of the people in the society are facing this problem. Right from the childhood, the child too feels that I'm having so much of burden of education, so much of expectations of the family. The youth feels that I have to achieve this target, I have to go to this college for admission, but I am not able to. So again here he is having those symptoms. Then we see in job levels also. Firstly, the person feels that if I get this job, I will be happy. But as soon as he gets this job, he has a temporary phase of happiness. But in the prolonged phase, we see that again he is not that much satisfied or that much happy with that job. The adult part, they have their own problems, the family problems, managing the job, even the business aspects. We see there are ups and downs in the business. These all are the issues which are leading to psychological problems and mental disturbances today. And if we think about this, the majority of the group of the people, they feel that this has no solution.
Okay.
And finally, they have to go to counselors, psychologists for psychological treatment.
That's right. But if they had meditation in their life, maybe they'll find a way of coping with these problems.
Yes, that's why they need to have a new approach to their life, that meditation will heal our negative energy and we will lead a life with a positive aspect. Meditation increases our internal strength, and due to that internal strength, the pressure, though it is coming from outside, we will be stable and calm inside, and rather we can face the life with a very, very different turn.
You know, from my own experience, I can tell you, as much as you hear about these things, that stay calm under any situation, you know, don't let anything bother you. It's not always easy to do that. Probably you're going to say you need to have more practice, but is it really an achievable state where, you know, regardless of what happens outside, you can stay calm inside?
This is because we have forgot our original nature. Just you see, if I have a cup of water, originally the nature of water is to be cool. Even if I make it hot, for some time I keep it outside, again it will come back to its original nature.
Oh, that's right. So I get it. So what you're trying to say is our original nature is peace.
Yeah.
So we may get angry for a while, but we do have to come back to our original state.
When you were angry, how much time can you be angry for?
Obviously not forever.
Not forever. And even if we see for few seconds or few minutes we are angry, we are totally red, our heartbeats increased, our BP increases, means somewhere or the other it shows that this is abnormal thing.
Absolutely, but you know what? It's such an instant reaction a lot of times. Like, I know it's not good to be angry. I know the harm it does if you get angry, but it just happens.
Here, three aspects come. What to do, why to do, and how to do. Now we know there is number of knowledge we are getting from other sources, from internet, from media, that anger causes a lot of disturbance in the body.
Sure.
So what to do we know. We have the knowledge part of it,
right,
but we don't know how to do
exactly,
and why to do.
Exactly.
So now we come to know why we have to do, because we have to make ourselves stable, we have to make our internal power more, and so how to do, so we are getting the answer over here, how to do. So meditation helps us to get to that state. Knowledge will never help us to give us the strength. Yes, it will illuminate us, it will show us the path, that this is the right path, but it won't give us the power. Meditation gives us the internal strength, internal power, and once I awaken that internal strength and internal power, I come to know that anger was my weakness actually. Today we think that anger is our tool, and if somebody is telling us if we get angry, we will make him quiet. But actually we are making ourselves suffer at that time.
That's right.
Whenever the circumstance comes in front of me, whenever somebody is shouting on me, somebody is banging on me, somebody wants something to be get done and he is shouting, I have to assure that he is doing it in his nature, but my original nature is peace, my original nature is calmness. Once I get this approach that my original nature is peace, my original nature is calmness, at the very instance, I would be relieved of all the psychological disturbance which I initially used to suffer. I myself was also suffering from this aspect initially. Little issues.
Getting angry, really?
Yeah,
I find it hard to believe.
I used to, because when we are as a children, we see that there are sibling problems.
Sibling
my brother,
rivalry.
my brother, he used to think that she has to be perfect, and I used to think that I am getting perfect, but he is as it is. But then I again challenged to myself, oh, if he's saying that you have to keep this laptop at your own place, he is making correction in me that is good for me. He is not doing so, it's his problem. I don't have to judge him. I have to judge myself.
Okay.
So judging myself and correcting myself will make myself away from that angry problem, and now I won't get anger, but I will be at peace and calmness, because that's my soothing factor now, and it has become a positive point of mine now.
Okay, that's very nice, and that's a very hopeful thought for all of us who have the tendency to get angry. You know, we have something to look forward to. Yes. That we don't have to stay in that angry state all the time. There are times when, it can happen, because anything is basically, there are times when you will be angry, there are times when you will not be angry. But the more you practice, maybe there will come a time when you get angry, like say 20%. And then slowly you are more conscious about it, you'll get angry 10%.
Yes.
Is that?
Yes, of course. The more I practice meditation, the frequency of my practicing and my daily practice will slowly and gradually reduce the percentage of getting anger. Time will come when I am totally at peace and totally at calm phase, and now any of the circumstances, they won't bother me at all.
A lot of us in the conversation, when we talk to our friends, family, whoever it is, they'll always say, oh, I'm not a saint, If we say, why are you getting angry? They'll say, I'm not a saint. So the common understanding is only saints are those who have, control their anger. But in a normal life, it's okay to get angry.
Now, the word you used, control the anger. When I am having the feeling that I have to control the anger, then it creates a problem for me. Then I feel that I am not a saint. But now I know I don't have to control it. If it is not happening inside me, then why there is need to control? We want everything in our control. And if it is not in our control, then we get angry.
Okay, I get it. So again, like we talked about the positive affirmations, there is no need to control anything. If I realize I am peace, then automatically the control aspect will also will be gone.
Yeah, it is like just there is light or there is darkness.
Right.
We don't have to tell the darkness to go away. As soon as the light is illuminated, the darkness vanishes. So I just have to illuminate the peace part in myself. As soon as the peacefulness is awakened, the darkness of ego, of anger, it vanishes out easily without my getting more energy into it, and I don't have to even put my effort in it, or I even don't need to control it.
Since we're talking about anger, one question came to my mind. We get angry a lot, and there are times when we have seen destructive behavior in ourselves or our friends, our family, and then we go on with our normal life. So isn't it really true? I mean, there are clinically proven cases where you label them as emotionally unstable. But all of us, at some point or the other in our life, we go through unstable behavior.
Yeah.
So would it be wrong to say that all of us are emotionally challenged?
In some situations, there are some difficulties where emotions may go up and down, but in what time I am facing that situation, in how much time I am able to get out of it, that is more important.
Okay.
Say, for example, I am facing some situation and that situation has ruined me totally inside, but now it's just fraction of seconds that I have to realize, oh, the situation has gone. Now I can't control it. The things had happened, whatsoever was to happen, it has now happened. And whatever has happened, I can't change it.
Right.
So accept it. And when I get the acceptance power, when I get the power to face the situations, then there will be the situation that the emotional unstableness can be decreased. And the more I practice, I will see, initially I used to take few days to get out of that unstableness. Now just it is like in a second, I accept it and I get out of it very easily.
Okay, so I will definitely keep this in mind. That sometimes, I have the tendency, and I'm sure a lot of people do, like you're very hard on yourself. Here you know that, oh, you're not supposed to get angry. And then some situation comes across your way and you end up not just getting angry, but you just, blow your top off. And then you go into that feeling of regret. So there's a whole cycle. So this tells me angry is one thing, then the regret that follows that is another thing. So there are so many downsides to getting angry. So wouldn't it be just easier to be peaceful instead?
Yeah, it is very, very easier, I would suggest. And what I have learned through Brahma Kumaris throughout these whole years, that we don't have to make effort over here. It's so very easy, the easy meditation, what we have talked about, it is so very, very easy and making us so much flexible that whatsoever situations come in front of us, whatsoever difficulties, the tasks we see, that difficult tasks come in front of us, but it becomes like now my daily routine that I have to face those tasks with calmness. Just for an instance, we take an example. When I was in nursery, I was facing the exams which are so very simple, writing A, slanting lines. Then 5th, 6th standard, the challenges increased. The papers, the number of examination papers, they increased and the difficulties increased. Coming to the 10th, I felt like nursery was so very kiddish. 5th standard was so very easy. 10th is bit difficult now. When to higher studies, 12th standard, again we felt that 12th is more harder than the 10th standard. When I came to medical studies, I thought 12th was very much easier than this medical studies. The books are so very, very big ones.
Yes.
So this is the practice that the more we grow in our life, the more we are at a higher position, the more challenges we will be facing.
That's true. The more challenges we'll be facing and the more we meditate, we'll be able to handle these challenges with great ease.
And this practice of meditation will make all things in so much of ease that we ourselves will wonder that initially we were getting angry on that, we used to regret. After getting angry, we used to feel regret, but now there is no anger part, so there is no regret part.
Sister, I was just thinking about the different kinds of disorders that are affecting our society these days, emotional and mental disorders. And the one that came to my mind was ADD, or it's also referred to as ADHD. I have a friend actually who's a special education teacher, and she teaches or coaches children with this ADD, attention deficit disorder. Why are we seeing more and more? When I was growing up, we never heard of these things. But now we are seeing that there's all of a sudden there's an increase, you call whether it's an ADD or it's an obsessive compulsive disorder, OCD. All of a sudden it seems like there's an increase of all of this in our culture as well.
Yeah. That's very true, and it has been found out in the scientific researches that ADD, that is attention deficit disorder, it is more prominent in males than in females.
Is that right?
And the thing is that the children too are suffering a lot out of it. The main reason we see that ADD, OCD, that is obsessive compulsion disorder, in which the person is obsessive or compulsion to do something. He will wash his hands again and again. He will check out for some things again and again. Why is it that these things are happening to him? The main reason is the number of thoughts in his mind has increased a lot.
Okay, so that's the connection between these disorders and the thought process.
Yeah, as see in ADD, number of thoughts have increased, so I'm not able to pay attention for a longer period of time. We are joining it to the spiritual aspect, right?
Right.
Now, in OCD, again we see the number of thoughts have increased so much that I feel again that my hands are becoming dirty. So after every few minutes, I go and wash it.
Is there a fear factor in this too? Like maybe there is some kind of fear in our mind that, the reason for washing our hands constantly? Or is that a phobia?
Yeah, it can be more phobia than the fear aspect, because the person is not even conscious or not even aware that he is doing this. The other persons notice that this is something which is different.
Abnormal.
Yeah, that is abnormal.
Okay.
And here, as we start practicing meditation, the number one benefit we get, that the number of thoughts which were at a very higher frequency initially, now they slowly become less, and due to the regular practice of meditation, we will find that the practice is making our mind so stable that we will be ourselves knowing it, that now we are completely changing. You see, there is no treatment for ADD.
Okay.
They say that some natural diet is good one, like more diet of protein, carbohydrates, fruit and vegetables to be included more in the diet. But for the prolonged time, there is no medical treatment, or we can say if there is we are only suppressing those symptoms.
But what I was thinking was, you talked about thought process, that our number of thoughts are the ones that are responsible for these two disorders. Is there a technique at Brahma Kumaris where we can bring down the number of thoughts, or is there any specific technique for that?
Yeah, we will sit back for meditation again,
okay,
and we'll have a live demonstration for it rather.
Let's do it.
Sitting back straight, I now try to find out the thoughts which are bothering me more, which are making me deviant, which are affecting me more. Concentrating on those thoughts, I tell my mind, you are my best friend. And from today, you as my best friend will together start a journey. I concentrate on the center of my forehead, and I now realize I am soul. Slowly and gradually, I as a soul get detached from this body and start my journey to my original and my sweet home, the incorporeal world, the golden red color world. I reach in the canopy of my sweetest father, Shiv Baba, and sitting just beneath him, I tell Shiv Baba, my sweetest father, I now am totally in your canopy, and I just want to be with you. Your presence and your canopy make me feel very relaxed and soothing. I can visualize Baba's rays coming on me and making me very much calm and away from any other thoughts. This is a wonderful experience. I'm enjoying the rays coming from my father, and I am becoming peaceful. And I now thank Baba and come back to my previous position, back to the body. Om Shanti.
Thank you, sister, for being with us and for this wonderful discussion. and we will continue this further.
Thank you. Shanti.
Folks, we've had examples in history of Albert Einstein, Graham Bell, who had ADD, and yet they contributed to the society. So if our children have any of these disorders, let's not rule them out. Let's not discourage them, because you never know. One of these days, they may be big contributors to our society in a very big way. I hope you're finding these discussions very helpful. And as always, keep your comments and questions coming, and we hope to see you again.